First Blood has John Rambo returning from the Vietnam War, and then when he comes to a town, um, Sheriff Teasel does not like him, and he kind of wants him out of the town. So, this was the third time that I watched this movie. First time that I watched it, I really enjoyed it. Second time, I didn't really get into it that much. So now here's the third time that I watched it. And fun fact, the director of this directed Weekend at Bernie's, which I really like Weekend at Bernie's. And that's just such two completely different movies. So, the positives on the movie are John Rambo himself is a very interesting character. He was a Vietnam veteran, but he has PTSD from the war. The movie has some good commentary. People who went to the Vietnam War were fighting for really no reason, and people don't know why they went into war to be in the war to begin with. And when they came back to the United States, they were met with scorn because people didn't see any purpose in them going to the war. And so Rambo has PTSD and was mistreated by the police when he got back into that town, or got back from the war and went into that town. So he went off the deep end, and it was just very interesting because he's an action hero, but no one actually praises him for his bravery. So he's pretty interesting. And then kind of going along with that, the villain, Sheriff Teasel, is actually a pretty good villain. He doesn't really want drifters in the town, but he learns Rambo is a war veteran, so he kind of has some prejudice against Rambo. So he just kind of goes on this hunt to find Rambo, and then eventually, throughout the movie, he just becomes more and more determined to catch Rambo and to probably even kill Rambo. The action in the movie is pretty solid. The motorcycle chase near the beginning is pretty good, and before that, Rambo escapes the police station and just fights his way out of the police station. That was pretty cool. Rambo drives a truck through the town, through a gas station, and blows up the truck and the gas station. That was pretty cool. So the action is pretty good in the movie. And the final positive is Sylvester Stallone actually gives a really good performance in this movie. For like an 80s action movie, he actually really gives a good performance as John Rambo. Specifically in like the last 5 minutes of the movie, he breaks down talking about how he lost everyone from the war, and he talks about how he was scorned by people when he got back from the war. And that was just a really good scene in the movie. And a really different way to end an action movie, because it didn't end with explosions and like a big fight with John Rambo and like the sheriff. He breaks down and just goes on this depressing rant. So that was actually pretty interesting to end an action movie. That's it for positives. On to the negatives. I guess I really only have one. And the one negative that goes throughout pretty much the entire movie is I kind of wish this was just a straightforward action movie. Built around action sequences. So like, I kind of wish this movie was just kind of like him trying to save someone, like, in the war, and I think I might have enjoyed that a little more. You would have had, like, more interesting action sequences. And there's not really a goal for Rambo, which I guess is another negative. There's not really a goal for Rambo. It's just escape the police, so there's nothing really to hold my attention. It's just like he goes into town and then like he's pushed and then he goes into the woods, and then he goes back into town and just starts killing the police. I don't know. There didn't really seem to be a goal for Rambo. So that's pretty disappointing. So in the end, I do like this movie. I think it's good, but I don't know if it's gonna be my favorite Rambo movie. And I don't think it is my favorite Rambo movie. I just recently watched all 5 of these movies a few months ago, and it really wasn't my favorite Rambo movie. That goes to, like, probably 2 other movies in this franchise. So, First Blood, for what it's going for, I enjoy it, but for an action movie, I don't think I would really watch it a whole lot, because it's not built around these epic action sequences. But again, that's not really the purpose of the movie. So in the end, I enjoy it, but it's probably not my type of action movie. So that's my review on First Blood. Thanks for watching.